Good morning, channel viewers, friends, family, diecast folks. It's Freestyle Friday, so it's just going to be like all over the place. And then I have two questions, one two-part to answer after the cars. So stick around if you want to hear some poggy stuff. So today I got three more main lines from the H and the J case for the Ignition Diecast Master Set Archive thing, and I need them for that. But I don't think I'm going to keep any of these three. We got some catching up to do. There's a lot missing from the archive that's actually on hand. So the next few days we're going to be reviewing these cars, and some of you may be interested in them. Like this one is called the Hot Wings, and it's a car shaped like a hot sauce bottle. Not something I'm particularly interested in, but I know people do like the food related cars, and whether it's donuts or cupcakes or whatever. Here's the Hot Wings, and it kind of reminds me of Cholula, not Tabasco. It's got, I think Cholula has a woman on it, but Tabasco has a green top, so it's sort of a mashup. And this is mostly plastic, got a metal base, as many of these do. Might be really fast, I don't know, I don't race cars, but you might find that it's a fast one. The Hot Wings. Decidedly go. And is this new? Yeah, this is new for 2025, so it's a brand new casting. This is the first edition, and I definitely had a Magic 8 Ball when I was a kid. I don't know if the kids still play with that. Do they still make with a Magic 8 Ball? I don't know. If it's not on a phone, I don't know if kids are really interested in it. But this is basically a car that's like a Magic 8 Ball, and it gives you different answers. I think you have to, yeah. You can see the answer holding it upside down. With the real Magic 8 Ball, the answer dice in there floated, so it sort of floated up to the glass. This has no liquid in it, which would have been a disaster. So you can hear it rattling, but you can still see the answer. Probably better if you hold it this way, but anyway, it's purple. It's decidedly go. Looks sort of like a 60s dune buggy, Myers-Manx type thing. But it's got a huge 8 ball on it. And then the Cruise Bruiser. I always call it the Cruiser Bruiser or Bruise Cruiser, but the real name, I interchange them. It's actually called the Cruise Bruiser. And this is the second color for this year. We had a pink one, and now a yellow one. And for a while, I was collecting gassers, like Hot Wheels gassers, but I realized it was a little sketchy. I wasn't really dead devoted to it, so I put them all in the archive or sold them off and used that box for something else. But this is a cool car. Kind of looks, I don't know. It looks like there are lots of different classic wagons, but this one has a massive engine popping out the front, chrome interior. What is that? A pickaxe? Or a crossbow? I don't know. But yellow. Cruise Bruiser for this year. And then I got kind of a mix, hodgepodge of cars that people have sent me last week, and so I'm just going to show you those. These are kind of the highlights. All three of these folks sent me more than what I'm going to show you, but these are definitely things that I'm going to keep. So Willie B sent me the mystery model Corvette Stingray convertible. And I know at least one other person, possibly two, are sending me this also, but that's fine. I can use it for trading. And This just happened to be the first one that came in. So no sweat. Don't fret if you're sending me something. If you're sending me one of these and I already have it, because I will make very good use of it. This black or green olive drab beetle was in that mystery model set 2, or in this series. I don't remember which car number it is. I'm too lazy to look for them. But this one wasn't really one that I was thinking about, but I like it a lot. It's very, it's one of the more realistic Beetle Hot Wheels castings. This might be the same casting as the Bumblebee, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely keeping that, putting it in my Volkswagen box. I don't have a devoted Beetle breakout yet, but I feel like it's coming because I got a lot of them, like over 20 at this point. And this 33 Ford Coupe with the white walls. I might sell this one. If it doesn't sell, I'll keep it, but I don't really collect these vintage coupes, these type of hot rods. The only ones I do sort of collect are the Mod Rod and the Max Steel. And as I told you yesterday, I'm even letting go of all my bone shakers. So I don't know what to do with this. It's very cool graphics. I like the colors and the paint scheme a lot, but I don't collect them. So this one, at the moment, is on the auction block. Thanks, William. John R., the ever reliable. I swear I get a box from him by once a week. The Europa. What's the make? I know it's a Europa. God damn it. Is it a Jaguar? I can't believe I forgot the make. It's a Lotus. But let's just make sure. Yeah, it's a Lotus Europa Special by Matchbox. And they made like 3 different versions of this. There's like the base model, and then I think there's like a racing one, and then this is called the Special. And they call this color pink. It's kind of a, I guess it's pink, sort of a salmon red color in person. But that is pretty cool. I don't collect Lotuses, but I think I'm going to keep this one for the time being just because I've never seen it before and it's pretty groovy. And, okay, so he sent some other brands which I don't collect, which puts me in total crisis. It like rocks my world, throws a total stone in my river or my pond. It creates ripples in my life that really mess with me. But first, here's a Hot Wheels Pure Muscle, Total Muscle, Solid Muscle, sorry. And it's like a muscle truck. I thought it was a fig rig at first, but it does not have those little pegs for Mega Bloks figures. It's a muscle truck. So I figure I'll put this in my Hot Wheels muscle car. I've never seen this one before. First one I've ever held. And then here's where it gets weird. I used to collect Majorette. I used to buy them. I don't know if collecting is a strong word. But John sent this GTR, a Nissan R35, and it is a Majorette. The main problem with Majorette is they're a little bigger than Hot Wheels and Matchbox. They're more like, they're not a 1/64, they're slightly different scale. But man, the build quality is fantastic. Like, I think Majorette cars, and this might be getting me in trouble, Majorettes are actually nicer than Auto World or M2 or Johnny Lightning in a lot of ways. So I'm going to put this in my R35 box for now, because there is another, there's a Mini GT in there too, so it's sort of a hodgepodge. But it might get pushed out by the Hot Wheels, I don't know. Here's another Majorette, Porsche 918 Spider in pink. It's very, very Barbie colors, but Majorettes are super nice. And I think it's got real riders. It's got rubber wheels too, so this may have been like a collector series. So I'm gonna keep it for now. I've majorettes and Maestos confused the shit out of me. There's a Maesto G-Wagon, and it's got real riders. So this Maesto has kind of a premium line too. I think this, because it has a tow hitch on it, must have come with a trailer. It's probably one of those like premium sets. And Maesto has this new set called Racing Legends or something like that, that are pretty expensive too. I haven't totally pulled the trigger on Maesto yet. I have a bunch of trucks, mostly ones that John sent me. But I'm going to keep this one for sure, put it in my G-Wagon box. Because it's just, looks great. Great wheels, rubber tires, good paint job. I indeed like it. So then that's John R. And then Roger S. sent me this Matchbox. I don't collect these, but that's definitely a winner. A Beetle Matchbox, classic Beetle, and this will be the third color of this particular casting I have, and that'll go in my Beetle box. I do not have a casting specific case or box devoted to any Matchbox castings at this point, but this is a candidate. And a hearse, Cadillac hearse. Very nice. I don't have any hearses. I don't have any Cadillacs. But I'll keep this one for now. Got a red interior, which is kind of spooky, kind of macabre. But, yeah, never really considered hearses. I bet you, I'm willing to bet there's people out there that collect die-cast hearses, specifically. And here's funny, this is kind of follow-up to John R. John sent me all three colors, 3 of the 4 colors of this, and now Roger sent me the 4th. So now I have this, every color of this dang old Matchbox Gladiator, which I never planned to collect, but now I have all 4. And this is really cool. The Treasure Hunt 95 Jeep Cherokee. I have the red one, the green one, and Roger sent this one, which I have had before, but I've sold them all because I hate Jeeps. And now I have all 3 of the 95 Cherokee. So that's pretty awesome. Thanks to all you guys. I'm going to talk more about this community social network thing in the question portion, but which I guess that's where we are now because I've opened everything. So let's answer some questions. Seriously, why don't you put more effort into your videos? You'd reach a wider audience. I don't know if that was a serious question or sarcastic or what, but I'm going to treat it like a serious question. So the quick answer is that when I started making videos like a year and a half ago, I realized that if it became a lot of work, because I've done this before, like I used to have a record store and we filmed interviews from the store, and they were highly edited and it took like a couple hours to prep the video, and the files were huge and all this. So this time around for this diecast stuff, I realized that if the videos became work, I probably wouldn't last long unless it just blew up, which it never did. So the fact that these are pretty slack and I just turned the camera on is because I don't want to dread this. I kind of want it to just be me running my mouth while I drink coffee and talk about the cars and stuff. The second answer to that, which is a little more specific, after about a year, I started to realize that YouTube is actually like a social network. It's not, I always thought of YouTube as like for produced content and like replacement for TV, and you gotta have like an intro and like credits at the end and stuff like that. And a couple channels inspired me to get started, and I had a physical diecast store at the time, so I thought, well, YouTube would be a good companion to all that. But what I've realized in the meantime is that really it's just like Facebook or some other social network site where I'm just creating messages, dispatches to the people that I trade with or have a strange fascination with toy cars like I do. And it's casual. It's just like just talking to people, talking to friends, family, trading buddies. And I don't feel like there's a need for production value. Like, I want you to hear what I'm saying, and I want the lighting to be good enough so that you see the cars. But as beyond that, I'm not really looking for followers. This guy says you'd reach a wider audience. I don't really care about audience. This is just me letting you know what I got going on with cars and what's coming in to my little life and what I have to trade and what I have to sell. So that's about it. So yeah, this topic doesn't really have much potential to really blow up and become like a big money maker. I mean, we're not doing like home improvement or self-sufficiency or sewing and those channels that with like millions of followers. This is like nerd shit. So it's never the biggest channel on YouTube, Ministry of Diecast, only has 300,000 subscribers. So in the scope of YouTube, that's pretty paltry. That's really not that much. So the second question is two parts, and I'll try not to be too wordy. I see Star Wars figures behind you every day, and you have a room dedicated to Star Wars memorabilia. It's not really memorabilia, it's more like just collectible crap. But anyway, so how come you never speak of the Hot Wheels Star Wars character cars? Do you have any? How about Star Wars premium sets like the awesome Bounty Hunter set for 2014? The answer to that is because I like Hot Wheels and I like Star Wars stuff, but I don't really like the mashup. Like, call me a snob or a jerk, whatever, but I see mashups as just kind of like a money grab. Like when I see Hot Wheels cereal or Star Wars whatever soap, this is dumb. They're just like trying to cash in on the popularity of this one thing to sell more of this other thing. And I guess the reason that I don't really like Hot Wheels Star Wars cars is because cars had nothing to do with the Star Wars universe. I take it kind of seriously, like lore, like whatever. I sort of believe in it in a way, and when I see an R2-D2 car, I'm like, that's dumb. R2-D2 was never a car. I mean, I know people painted their cars like Star Wars characters and stuff, so in that way it might be realistic, but because it's a mashup, it doesn't really appeal to me. I like both those things a lot, but separately, not together. And even though, like the Led Zeppelin, I really like Led Zeppelin, but the Led Zeppelin cars, I'm like, I don't know. I guess it sort of makes sense, but none of those like pop culture mashups really appeal to me that much. Definitely don't touch. I appreciate the Beatles, but I don't want a single Beatles car. Second question: what is your most prized possession or figure in your Star Wars collection? It doesn't have to be the most valuable in the market. In fact, I prefer you to choose the one that is valuable to you for personal reasons. Well, to make a long story short, I've been collecting Star Wars since like '99. When The Phantom Menace came out, I got back into figure collecting. So I had a bunch of modern figures, sold them off. Then I got into vintage collecting and sold those off. So when I was doing the vintage thing, I had some really cool pieces which I was really happy about, really proud of, like a 12-back Chewbacca with a Star Wars card, a 12-back. And so that was like something I never thought I would own. And I think I had a couple other like fairly early carded figures from like 78 and 79. But I sold all that off. And I sold it as a lot for like $1,700, which probably was a steal for the person, but I took that $1,700 and I got involved with cars, real cars. So I think I bought a Volkswagen Passat with that money. But so now all I really collect are certain vintage collection figures and Black Series 6-inch figures, like that one right there. And only certain ones. I always open the Black Series and I keep the vintage collection carded in my little nerd room upstairs. So to answer this question, the one that I care the most about is probably this Star Wars carded Boba Fett. And this is not the rocket firing one. I had the rocket firing vintage collection one, and someone offered me a lot of money for it, so I sold it. And so this one is only worth like $25 or whatever, but still one of my favorite characters when I was a kid, and it's on a Star Wars card. Whenever I see these vintage Star Wars cards, it takes me back to the thrill of toy hunting when I was like 8 years old, going to the store and hoping I could find another Stormtrooper or whatever character I didn't have at that point. And that, I guess, if you want to get like forensic about it, that was the beginning of this lifelong obsession with peg hunting, because I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. So that's the answer to those questions. And tomorrow is Slack Ass Saturday. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you soon.